One word substitution. A person who speaks many languages, polyglot, bahubhashi. One who loves mankind, philanthropist, paropkari. One who hates mankind, misanthrope, manavdveshi. One who believes in God, theist, ishwarvadi. One who does not believe in God, atheist, nastik. One who doubts the existence of God, agnostic, ishwar sandigdhvadi. One who looks at the bright side of life, optimist, ashavadi. One who looks at the dark side of life, pessimist, nirashavadi. A person who knows everything, omniscient, sarvagya. A person who eats too much, glutton, petu, atyadhik khane wala. A person who talks too much, loquacious, batoni. A person who cannot read or write, illiterate, nirakshar. A person who is present everywhere, omnipresent, sarvavyapi. A person who is all-powerful, omnipotent, sarvashaktiman. A person who is all-knowing, omniscient, sarvagya. A person who is easily fooled, gullible, bhola bhala, आसानी से ठगा जा सके ऐसा. A person who does something for free, volunteer, swayamsevak. One who can do many things, versatile, bahumukhi pratibha wala. A person who composes poems, poet, kavi. One who plays musical instruments, musician, sangeetkar. A person who is addicted to alcohol, alcoholic, sharabi. A person who steals, thief, chor. A person who writes with hands of others, amanuensis, lipik, likhne wala sahayak. One who is always punctual, punctual, samay ka paband. A person who is interested in the welfare of others, altruist, paropkari vyakti. A person who believes in fate, fatalist, bhagyavadi. A person who loves himself, egoist, atmpremi. A person who lives for pleasure, hedonist, sukhvadi. One who knows many subjects, scholar, vidwan. A person who collects stamps, philatelist, ticket sangrahak. A person who collects coins, numismatist, sikka sangrahak. A person who cannot be corrected, incorrigible, asudharniya. A person who lives in solitude, hermit, sannyasi, ekantvasi. A person who is new to something, novice, nausikhiya, navagantuk. A person who loves books, bibliophile, pustak premi. A person who hates women, misogynist, stridveshi. A person who loves women, philogynist, stripremi. A person who studies ancient things, archaeologist, puratatvavid. A person who operates on patients, surgeon, shalyachikitsak. A person who repairs pipes, plumber, nalsas. A person who repairs shoes, cobbler, mochi. A person who cuts hair, barber, nai. A person who sells medicines, pharmacist, dawa vikreta. A person who designs buildings, architect, vastukar. A person who flies an aircraft, pilot. A person who drives a car, chauffeur, driver. A person who is in charge of a museum, curator, Sangrahalayadhyaksh. A person who guards a building, watchman, Chaukidar. A person who serves food in a hotel, waiter, bhojan parosne wala. A person who treats animals, veterinarian, pashu chikitsak. A government by the people, democracy, prajatantra. A government by a king, monarchy, rajshahi. A government by nobles, aristocracy, kulintantra. A government by few, oligarchy, alpatantra. A government by priests, theocracy, dharmshahi. A person who walks in sleep, somnambulist, nidrachari. A person who talks in sleep, somniloquist, nidravakta. A person who walks on ropes, funambulist, rassi par chalne wala. A person who can't speak, mute, dumb, mook. A person who can't hear, deaf, badhir. A speech delivered without preparation, extempore, bina tayari ke. A speech delivered at farewell, valedictory, viday bhashan. A person who stands in for another, substitute, sthanapan. A woman whose husband is dead, widow, vidhva. A man whose wife is dead, widower, vidhur. One who is always dissatisfied, malcontent, asantusht vyakti. A place where weapons are kept, arsenal, hathiyar godam. A place where dead bodies are kept, mortuary, shavgreh. A place where animals are kept, zoo, chiriyaghar. A place where clothes are washed, laundry, dhobighar. A person who lends money at high interest, usurer, soodkhor. A play with sad ending, tragedy, dukhant natak. A play with happy ending, comedy, hasya natak. An object which cannot be moved, immovable, achal. A disease that spreads widely, epidemic, mahamari. A disease that affects a large area, pandemic, Vaishvik Mahamari. A person who leaves his country, emigrant, pravasi, jo bahar jata hai. A person who enters another country, immigrant, apravasi, jo aata hai. A thing which is fit to eat, edible, khadya yogya. A thing which is not fit to eat, inedible, akhadya. A person who writes a diary, diarist, diary lekhak. A person who composes music, composer, sangeet rachayata. A person who cannot be defeated, invincible, ajeya. A person who cannot be heard, inaudible, asashravya. A person who cannot be seen, invisible, adrishya. A person who is hard to please, fastidious, कठिनाई से संतुष्ट होने वाला. A handwriting that cannot be read, illegible, apatniya. An animal that lives on land and water, amphibian, ubhachar. A book containing words and meanings, dictionary, shabdkosh. A book of words arranged alphabetically, lexicon, shabd sangra. A short story with a moral fable, naitik katha. A decision taken by all, unanimous, sarvsammat. A thing that lasts forever, eternal, shashwat. An exact copy, replica, pratikriti. A word opposite in meaning, antonym, vilom shabd. A word similar in meaning, synonym, समानार्थक शब्द. A letter written by hand manuscript. Pandulipi. A short stay at a place sojourn. Alpkalik nivas. A lover of good food gourmet. Khane ka shauqeen. Killing of one's own father patricide. Pitrihatyakari.